Hey y'all, I just got out of the shower, but I just wanted to come out here and show you. This time yesterday, it was 70 degrees out. Hi y'all, welcome to Pisces Mountain Farm. This is Valerie, and as you can see in that clip, it's much colder today than it was yesterday. Yesterday was a grocery store day. I was out in the garden all day because it was around 70 degrees, and in the evening I went to the store. So that makes my kitchen very, very hectic. And since it's so cold out and I can't be outside, I'm going to clean up my mess from going to the store and making dinner and not getting things cleaned up because I was exhausted by the time all that was over. I didn't get much done. So I'm going to do that today, so ironically enough, I can sit in my kitchen floor later and get out the soil and do some winter sowing. So I'm going to clean the kitchen so I can make it messy with dirt. Alright, first let's pan around. I've got bread setting out rising for later. Last night's dishes. Things that need to be put away. The first thing I'm going to tackle are these dishes, so here's the before and alright, here's the after. I still got the rest of my countertops to clean. I did go ahead and remove any dirty dishes that were on the stove to get them cleaned up, and other than that, everything else is still as it was before the dishes were done. So I guess that will be the next thing that I do. And I just wanted to kind of explain some of these things. Like, these are just things I have sprouting. This right here, this tray, I don't really have anything in it yet. I was just getting the little pods expanded. I will say one thing. I do not find those pods to be beginner friendly. If you are a beginner, do not use those pods. There is a learning curve to them, and I don't suggest using them really for anybody, but I have them, so I'm going to use them up. I got those back whenever I used to belong to a seed club, and I had them sitting in there in a bag, and I'm just going to use them up this year, so I decided to start my brassicas in them. Okay, that's my little explanation / rant about those little pods. Sorry, they're just not my favorite, and there are much easier ways for a beginner to grow. These right here are not user-friendly. Oh, and by the way, neither are the little peat pots that you can get at the store. I will put a picture up here of what I mean. Those are not user-friendly either. Just my opinion. Use your own discretion. But if you're just starting out, I would suggest you don't get those. Get something plastic. Get something that doesn't dry out. Those dry out really, really bad. After I last talked to you guys, I just finished sweeping my floor, made dinner, spent a little time playing on the computer, and then I went to bed. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut back a rose bush that needs trimmed back both for shape and because it's got Blackspot disease. And not every part of it's covered in Blackspot, but I am going to take as much of it off as I can, and I will treat it, though I'm not going to treat it today because I've got to mix my fungicide, and I thought it was already mixed and it wasn't, so I got frustrated and decided to just come do this part today. because I also want to dig up a couple other rose bushes and move them down here beside my greenhouse where I put the one that I moved from my old house in Huntington. Alright, I guess let's go do that. I'm going to go trim this rose first. There it is. That cane right there is entirely too long. And you can see it's got black spot disease. I will be taking it out below there. Most of this is going to come off, and then I will treat any remaining rose that's left, and I will make sure to throw away any of the canes that I get. You don't want to leave them in your garden or compost them. You either need to burn them or just throw them out with the trash. I'm just going to lay that to the side there so I can pick it up. Okay guys, I've got these little alcohol pads that I'm keeping in my pocket. And I'm going to make sure I I'm going to clean my shears in between every single cut. Because I don't want to spread the disease to any parts that aren't. Let's see. And I just put it all back in my pocket, take it in and throw it away. I cut it back pretty severely because it needed it. But there are live buds. There are buds. I have cut them back really severely before like that and had good luck. And it's better than letting the disease spread and taking out your whole plant. So now all I'm going to have to do is probably tomorrow or the next day we have that it's not raining, because I'm not sure what the weather's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to come out here and treat this with some fungicide. All right, now let's go dig up some roses. The roses that I have up here were eaten back by deer. That's why they're so small. I'm going to get them and move them down by my greenhouse because things are less likely to be eaten there because we're there all the time, as opposed to up here where, you know, it's more of a free-for-all, especially for deer in the middle of the night. So I have checked them. They do all have new growth emerging, so I know they're not dead. Something weird. My little mini rose here, whenever I dug it up, it's actually 3 separate little roses. Huh. Interesting. Okay, these first 2 that are full size are going over here by this other rose I planted. And since I'm out here and it's that time, I'm going to cut off this big disease cane right there. Okay, my clippers have been cleaned since the last cut. Cutting that whole big cane off. Let's cut most of that. Okay. I know that looks severe, but I live in an area that gets quite a bit of precipitation, so black spot is just a thing that we have to deal with if we want to grow roses. And even like the hybrids or the, you know, all of those that are supposed to be resistant, I haven't found one yet that is, so I just cut them back and treat with a fungicide, and so far so good. A few little daffodils that are going to need to move there. But that rose is right there, so I'm going to put the other rose in here somewhere, and the other rose in here somewhere. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm not like measuring. I'm just eyeballing it and putting it where I want it. I know I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Anytime I'm planting something in the ground, I like to layer my native soil with some kind of potting soil or compost. This time, I happen to use potting soil because it was given to me, and of course I'm going to use it up. So it's easier to transport than going and getting a bucket and digging out the compost, so I just used it because it was handy today. The next thing is to plant those mini roses, but they're going in a different bed over here by another mini rose I have. So let's go do that. I have this little mini rose, so this is where some status was last year. I'm going to pull this root out. I'm thinking of putting them in this little area here because I know I've got perennials in here, and I've got a peony back in this area. There's some grass. So, and I've got that rose. You can't see it because I cut it back, but there's a rose there. So I'm going to put these mini roses kind of, let me step back and show you. Kind of in this little corner here. Okay guys, I'm done for the evening. My battery's getting ready to die, so thank you for hanging out with me over the last couple of days, and I will see you in the next video. Okay guys, bye.